In today's lesson, we'll be multiplying polynomials. We'll take a monomial times a binomial. We'll have to distribute and add our exponents. When you distribute here, you're going to multiply this monomial times the first term. So 3 times 4 would be 12. X to the second plus x to the second will give us an x to the fourth. Then we'll distribute the 3x squared times the negative 3x. And positive times the negative will make a negative 9x to the third because 2 plus 1 would make 3. As we move on to a binomial times a binomial, we call this the FOR method. The F stands for first, so we'll multiply the first term here times the first term here. X times x will give us x squared, and then we'll multiply our outer. The outer term here is x, the outer term here is 2, so 2 times x would be 2x. Then we'll multiply our inner. The two inner terms are 3 and x, so 3 times x would be 3x. And then finally, the last terms means the last ones here times the last ones here would be 3 times 2 would be 6. Now combining like terms, we'll have x squared, 2x plus 3x would be 5x plus 6. We'll try that again when the signs are different. Again, first times first, x times x will be x squared. Outer terms, x times 5 would be 5x. Inner term, negative 3 times x would be negative 3x. And last times last would be negative times positive would be negative 15. As you use the FOR method, you can always go back and check it as we learn to factor. Finishing up, we'll have x squared plus 2x minus 15. In our next example, we have increased the binomials by adding some coefficients on the first terms. But again, first times first would be 8x squared. Outer term, 2x times 2 would be a plus 4x. Inner term, negative 3 times positive 4 would be a negative 12x. Last times last would be a minus 6. And then collecting your like terms, you'll have x squared. A positive 4 with a negative 12 will be a negative 8x minus 6. Now, the mistake that students make here is they want to just multiply the first term times the first term and the last term times the last term, and they lose this middle term. But remember, if you have 2 terms times 2 terms, 2 times 2 is 4, so you must have 4 terms after you multiply. Finally, if you have a binomial squared, this square means that you write it down twice because there's 2 of them. And we're going to follow that same method of 4 that we did in the previous example. We'll do first times first, which will give us 4x squared because 2x times 2x. Your outer terms, 2x times 3 would be 6x. Your inner term would be 6x. And your last would be 9. Again, 2 terms times 2 terms yields 4 terms. Then collecting the like terms in the middle, we'll get a 12x plus a 9.